Okay, it's Wednesday, July 12th, just following up on Coinbase. This is the 1 minute chart. You can see here it's continuing lower. I bought the put somewhere as it was moving down strongly here. This is on the 1 minute chart. On the 15-minute bar, it was kind of breaking down on a 2 down into this red. I was anticipating the lows of the day taken out, which happened. Then I talked about on the first video, if we can just get an orderly pause and continue lower, it can end up being a nice trade. So the 1 minute chart hit that target, paused a little bit. Now we're continuing lower. I decided for conservative purposes just to scale out, set up a no risk trade, bought the 90 puts at 474, just scaled out at 575. They're up to like 585. So we'll see now, now that it's kind of looks like it wants to head even lower, not just fail at this intraday low and then come up. There is definitely a fair value gap into down here into the low 80s. Like I said, on the daily chart, we're inside, we'll see what happens at the midway point of this bar. At anywhere in here, we can get choppiness. I mean, in terms of the daily chart, we might come down in 2 waves and then just pause and get a big green bar and start up. But, at this point, it's no risk. I can break even. I'm obviously hoping the red continues. Every so often you get that. The main thing being that we took out the weekly highs. Once I saw us take out these key levels up here, and you can see we brought a lot of selling in there before. That was a target as we were heading up. Now we could be failing there again. I'm not saying in one day it's going to turn around and, this weekly chart's going to turn red, but it's certainly possible that given this was the weekly open here, maybe we get if we get a lot lower today, then this whole thing could be failing up in here, and eventually after this big run up, taking out some highs, could be working, all the way at least down to this, I can see the 70s type of thing. So there's a lot of room to run if it wants to go. The main thing was after seeing this red bar come up, pause, and it started headed lower here, I had a high probability we'd take out the lows of the day, and I wanted to see what happened there. Now we're continuing lower, which is nice. Options up to 580, 590, both those at 474, scaled out 575. So it's a really nice trade. And, again, if this thing really wants to collapse, I assumed one day it was going to have a big pullback, after this big run up, and this could be it. So at least at no risk now, I get to see what unfolds. It's not a high probability kind of thing in terms of targets. There's definitely fair value gaps down here to fill. But other than that, I thought it was pretty high probability that you're at least going to get enough follow through to make it a good trade. And now we'll just have to let structure kind of see if this daily chart really begins to fail and the weekly chart begins to fail and everything else. So high probability start here, but I'm not positive where it's going to end up, but it's at no risk right now. So let's see how much lower Coinbase might want to go. I'm just going to follow 15-minute structure at this point to guide me.